Morning, everybody. The routine by now, just sent to work. It's Friday, so at least I get that, you know, sense of peace. Trying to see how I can have a little fun after work, maybe. I'm thinking I'll go see Wolverine and Deadpool. And then after that, I can go to the gym. Hopefully, it'll be empty and I can just have a good workout after that and go home. Do a couple chores so I don't have to do much of anything on Saturday and just figure out what I'm gonna do on the weekend itself. Hopefully relax, maybe brainstorm some better content. Hopefully draw. I mentioned on another video that I'm starting to get back into my old habits. So maybe look out for that. For myself, I mean. Try to reorganize some stuff. I'll say I'm thinking about doing that, but let's see what happens. Right now, I'm kind of just thinking that I need to get as much as I can done at work itself. So I at least end with a quote-unquote high note for Monday. So at least now that I'm editing, a little more comfortable leaving long pauses and stuff because I can just, cut them out. Let me see after that. I'm not sure, I guess this part is just grinding. Putting in hours, a couple hours at drawing, putting some time trying to make what I post a little better. Hopefully I can post more than one thing today. I've kind of been able to just barely scrape making one video this past week. But I want to make at least one or two things but daily for now. No real specific topic, at least not right now in the morning. Maybe when I get off work I'll have something else. Just kind of figuring out, just trying to figure out how to do or focus on the things that I want to do. See how I move, right? Trying to align what I want with what I'm doing and then just chipping away at that until I can at least say that I built something. Also trying to get some control again on how much content I'm consuming. No, not trying to waste too much time on that stuff. Trying to build some awareness so I can catch myself faster. Just trying to scrape as much extra time as I can for other things. But it is tricky. Maybe I'll talk about some more relevant stuff that's happening in the world, at least for gaming. The whole thing with the Assassin's Creed Shadows, the guy who apparently was editing the wiki for the, I'm not gonna say Yasuke, because I believe historically he was not really a samurai, but you know how these people are, they wanna rewrite history and all that. And then he got caught and he ran away. I don't know, man. It's just so insane. What do I have to say about that, really? What am I gonna add? I haven't played Assassin's Creed since, like, Black Flag. I was like, I don't care anymore. I've kind of played enough of this. That was, like, the best one. And, we got all the outlets just running defense for it. But it was just a purely for convenience, I think, with the Yasuke character. Or, like, historical figure, because he was real. And they're just using that because it aligns with their modern day political cult ideology. And it doesn't even prove anything because it's all fake. It's like fake history or alt history. But you know that it's not gonna be in any interesting way. It's just gonna be pushing their modern cult stuff. It's not gonna be of the era. No, like it's obvious. And that's what we all hate and we don't want. And they know that way, which is why they have to run with it's because he's black and you don't want him there. Which is still a point because it's in Japan and every other one that I can recall from the ones that I played have a character of the era, of the time, of that place. So why change it now? Because it's a one time. It's like backwards, right? It's somebody that's not from there that was there, and because there's a very weak link to historical accuracy, which to me was always just trying to be as accurate to the era as possible in terms of how the world behaved, which they have not done, I think, since maybe even from the Viking one, I think. So it's completely weak. But now they found the one kid, the one person, and they wanna build their whole bullshit on it, and it doesn't hold at all. And they had to get to the point where they had to literally lie about it and try to change factual things and rewrite things. And again, it always does to these people. Maybe it doesn't, because again, to me, they're just evil, so they're more than happy to do this. But they have to go to the lengths of literally trying to lie to the whole world and change facts and change definitions and terminology and all this stuff just to try and shoehorn their garbage in. And all they end up doing is destroying whatever historical knowledge there was of the person to begin with that could have been remotely real or accurate or factual. And I'm sure it does go over some of them, their heads, that in their little crusade, they're actually destroying the legacy of somebody that they claim to be championing for. So to me, it's like, it's ridiculous. But I think I might just leave it there. I'll have to split that little bit apart. Maybe I can elaborate a bit more on it. But yeah, I hope you have a good day and catch you on the next bit. Good day. Kind of late on this, and I didn't upload yesterday. Just, doing some grocery shopping and stuff today. But I caught myself kind of going like, you're just driving right now, you're watching a video, just record something, man. You didn't upload yesterday, and that's not okay. You need to do something. I already have a little bit of something. It's kind of short, really. Complaining about, not even really complaining, just kind of my opinion on the Yasuke Assassin's Creed Shadows situation. Which, I think what I said there was good enough, because I don't really care. I don't intend on playing it. I think it's a waste of money. Even in spite of all the political shit and all the culty modern leftist psychotic ideological shit that's on and everything nowadays, it just doesn't look super fun. I'd probably just go play Ghost of Tsushima again. That's certainly a lot better. And that's probably what I have to say about that. Don't really care much for anything else about that. The other thing that seems to be being talked about still is Concord. Another thing that I just didn't touch because, it's like, maybe I should, because you want to make content, so it's something that you can make content from. But I just don't want to fund it. I don't want to give it my money. I don't want to support it, really, because I don't like this shit. It's fucking garbage. And it should be a given that when we see things like that it's an automatic fail and it's gonna get skipped over. At least with the Yasuke stuff, I keep hearing like, oh, all this controversy and all this shit, but it's still gonna sell. And I don't know about that. I might need to check sales of the past few games, but why? And this one is too overt, I think. Which, I don't know why the progressives keep acting surprised about that. So, I understand that in the one before Shadows, it was another sort of Middle Eastern one that was set before the first one, before the first Assassin's Creed, with Altair, with the mentor figure to the essentially Muslim assassin, because that's where the assassin whole thing originates, is from the Hashashin. I think it's Hashashin, something like that. That's Muslim. It's like a derivative from the Middle East. So that's the Origins, which I think is the name of the game, Assassin's Creed Origins. His mentor is a woman in like the 1500s, the 1600s, Middle East. The leader of the super elite secret organization is a woman. Like, seriously? But you know, they didn't market it with that, so it kind of went over people's heads. But this one is too in the nose, because the very premise of it, at least from the angle of Yasuke, is somebody from somewhere else, right? Like this black guy in Japan, in feudal Japan even, while every other game has their protagonist sort of be part of that setting and time or era. Well, technically Yasuke is of the era, but not of the nation or the culture. Right? Ezio was Italian and the games were in Italy. I believe, like I said, the guy from Origins, he's Muslim, and it takes in the Middle East, at least for the most part. The Viking one has a Viking guy. The Greek one has a Greek person. So this one is still kind of on the nose, especially because they're kind of being a lot more overt with all the woke shit and everything, just overall, like movies and games and comics and books and shows and music, even in the fucking Olympics now. I guess I could complain about that because, my God, I didn't see the Olympics. I should, because that's kind of the few sports that I actually care to see, like the Olympics and the Winter Olympics. They're really fun. But my God, I didn't even bother to look at the it's called the opening, like the inauguration ceremony or whatever, to initiate them, because it was fucking, what the hell, with that demonic representation of the Last Supper. Like, what the fuck? But kind of to bring it back around to the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing. It's too on the nose, right? Oh, here's feudal Japan, Assassin's Creed, that thing that I think people have been asking for from the very beginning, or after they started doing different time eras and settings. And they kind of do it now, but no. Fuck you. Here's your black guy in your feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game. Although I think they're kind of going on the angle of, well, you kind of have that with the lady one. And it's kind of stupid that I kind of have to preface this, but, I don't hate anybody of a different skin color than me, or I don't hate women. Kind of like them, actually, a lot, but that's the whole point of all this shit. To force us to waste time clarifying shit when we state something. Force us to waste time explaining that, well, I'm not racist because actually I'm not bothered that he's black. It's more that, because the whole point is that's the I want to say the obfuscation, but I don't think that's right. It's the wrench they think the gears of your argument towards all this shit, because you waste all your time just trying to explain how you're not what you already know you're not, and people can see you're not. That you have no time to refute their point, which is just to use these people, these characters, the setting, the IP, whatever the thing is, to push their bullshit. And if you point it out, well, the problem is that you just hate women. Obviously, that's the only obvious reason why you have such a problem with this. And so you now have to go back and have to clear ad nauseum why you don't hate women, but you have a problem with this because it's using the women to push something, and because of the way that they are word everything and phrase everything, it's not just like a one word or one phrase thing. You have to go in a level of defining everything that it's just it's really good at making it hard to fight it. At least to me, it is. Because I kind of understand all this shit is double speak and all this shit, double meanings. So they obviously just have to go the defensive route for Assassin's Creed Shadows, where, oh, well, all the hate is just because Yasuke is black and the lady character is a woman. I'm not even gonna go the route of, historical accuracy. It's alternate history. From the beginning, it's always been alternate history because it's with fake characters that did not exist, engaging in things and sometimes interacting with characters that did exist, sort of with Ezio and I believe Leonardo da Vinci, giving him new trinkets and then new inventions and stuff. But in the end, it's fantastical, essentially. Right? It's alternate history. So I don't really feel like I can lean on that in terms of, oh, well, it's not historically accurate. The only things that ever really needed to be historically accurate were the setting, and even then, they don't do it anymore. I believe since like the Viking one, where they don't, we all know usually when a group of people invade another group of people, back in those times, they did some pretty heinous shit. They don't let you do any of that in the game. They don't really let you go Grand Theft Auto in the game. It's kind of how I want to go, right? You can go hire a hooker and then you should kill her, get your money back. You can't do that in in the other games. Not that you have to or that you should be allowed to. Maybe that would add to the fun of the open worlds. But the point that I'm trying to make is just that a lot of arguments people are making are kind of redundant, because the point is, it doesn't matter what they're doing. What the point is that they're just doing it so they can shove more filth into your face, into your eyes, into your ears, into your brain. And instead of, you shouldn't stop pointing it out, obviously. You need to keep pointing it out. But stop wasting time trying to fight back or waste so much time refuting the, well, it's not because the character's X or Y race or nationality or religion or gender or whatever the hell. Because we all know that there are versions of these things that are great, that don't shove shit in your face, that are trying to like convert you to some retarded way of thinking. I guess maybe I should come up with a couple examples. Like Static Shock or Jon Stewart. Sorry, not Jon Stewart. Yeah. Green Lantern Jon Stewart. Or not even like, it doesn't even need to be with like a racial thing. It could literally be like Martian Manhunter, or if it's like with women, Wonder Woman, the classics, Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor. These things have been done well. Nobody hates these characters, and their stories are very much liked. I think it's kind of interesting because yesterday I went to watch Wolverine and Deadpool, which was fantastic. I think I still prefer Deadpool 1, but this movie is a 9 out of 10 just because they had Hugh Jackman and they had Wesley Snipes' Blade, and they brought back, I forget her name, but the actress that played Electro back in the 2000s when they had that version of Marvel, when it was starting. And they got, I also forget this guy's name, but they gave us Gambit, and I can't complain. That was a pretty good fucking Gambit. But this is not a video or a recording talking about the Wolverine and Deadpool. But the point is that when I was in the theater waiting for the movie to start, it was one of the trailers for, I think, the new Alien movie called Alien Prodigy or some shit like that. And it looks boring. It looks like we're gonna do Alien 1 again. But this time the android's black, and he's dating the Ripley character. And it looked so bland and boring. Like, at the very least, if they do anything, it'll just be some bullshit subversion. And if they're gonna do that, I just hope that at least it's the android that wins and just beats the alien and shoots it out of an airlock. I'm guessing that's what they're gonna do. It's just gonna be like a remake of the original one, and of course it's not gonna be as good. But it looked very much woke, which kind of goes with what I'm trying to say. It's like at this point, it's impossible for people to pretend that they don't see it, and it can't. The people making this shit cannot pretend that they cannot ignore it forever. Well, maybe they can. Maybe BlackRock or Blackstone or whatever the fuck these organizations are called can just keep funding it forever somehow. But they can't pretend that it's good or working. People hate this shit. They don't want to consume it. If you get if you get the game, if you get Assassin's Creed Shadow, good for you. If you enjoy it, good for you. Have fun. Because, fuck do I care? I'm just trying to record something to upload, but I'm already doing my part, quote unquote, or I've made my decision. I don't care, so I'm not gonna buy it. Why the hell would I? It doesn't interest me. I know this is gonna be some BS. It's gonna try and tell me that I'm some type of evil. Or I guess in this case it'll probably be the game telling a lot of Asian people that they're the bad people because they're white adjacent or some shit like that. So I guess it's their turn to get fucking lynched digitally or internet mobbed or lectured to. And it's gonna suck all the ass. What's the other game that came out? Because I'm kind of just mentioning Assassin's Creed Shadow and Concord a little bit earlier. But there's another one. It's called... Oh my god. I want to keep saying Flintlock Wood. It's Flintlock something. Killing Gods. And Sweet Baby Inc. got in there and they immediately turned the character... I think she was a woman from the get-go in the original design. But they had to turn her black because, that's the majority of gamers. And they probably made her gay. And she's probably the bestest ever. And she's always winning all her fights and all her debates. And everybody has to bow down to her. And she is the firstest ever to be the God Killer. It's like all the shit they make is just this. And it's so boring and indigestible. It's like in SpongeBob when they make those fake patties out of like gray tar. It's like that. But everything that we consume now. Except Wolverine and Deadpool. I think I'm getting the name wrong. I think it's Deadpool and Wolverine. But I like Wolverine more, so I say Wolverine and Deadpool. I'm glad that Hugh came back and, did this last one, kinda. I was a little disappointed. Some of the violence isn't really there. I don't think Deadpool gets a limb cut off at any point. Maybe they just didn't have the budget to do a CGI baby hands and watching it grow back again throughout the course of the movie, because he never loses a limb. And then at the end, they fight a whole bunch of Deadpools, and when they're getting sliced up, they do it off frame. Is it off frame or out of the shot? The shot is still, they all pounce on Wolverine, they all fall out of the frame, and then you just see a bunch of pieces of the arms and legs and heads and stuff get kind of thrown into the shot. And then there's another sequence where he's kind of fighting a bunch of dudes in a bus, and just they put a bunch of CGI blood all over the glass, so you can't see him do anything. And I kind of got a little disappointed there, but overall, I was just happy to see him in the costume, looking like a badass and doing a bunch of cool shit. Can't complain. It was beautiful. So I guess that's kind of all I have to really say right now. Maybe I'll say some more when I'm home, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here.